Hello, I'm Herb Halling, and I've been a student of China since about 2015, when I had made up my mind that I was going to go to China for 3 months. And during my preparation to go to China, I learned about a guy named Winston Churchill, or also known as SerpentZA, ZA, and he's a British-born South African who's been living in China for about 11-12 years, and he was married a beer girl for a while. Then he got divorced from that, and he met this doctor and married her, and he's got a very wonderful marriage now. And Winston is probably one of the original vloggers, especially China vloggers, and he's been producing videos once a week for as long as I've been following him. And so him and Sasha do a lot of videos together, and Sasha, his wife, she's got her own video, her own YouTube channel called Who Knows, HU space KNOWS, I think it is. And then he's got another friend, we'll call him Sea Milk, I'm not sure of his real name. He's from New York State, and he's also living in southern China and married to a wonderful Chinese girl. And so Winston has his YouTube channel. Sea Milk has a YouTube channel called Loa Way, LOAWAWY 86, I think it is. And then together, Winston and Sea Milk have another channel called ADV China. And they both ride motorcycles, and they tour the countryside while discussing various topics of interest about how it is in China. All of their videos are about mainly how it is in China, and points of video how it is. If you want to come and live in China, or if you want to tour China, what can you expect? Little things he's done. I remember Winston did a video on how it is to take the metro. And then he did another video how it was to go to a dentist, and he got a root canal done and a cap for $186 US. How it is to go to a supermarket, and you're in the supermarket and you see these aquariums with live fish in it, and you buy your live fish, slaughter it, and take it home. You know it's fresh. So they've been very successful, and they're probably one of the most notoriety, most recognized vloggers in China. Although a lot of people have copied him, and there other people are doing similar things. When I was in China in 2016, I went down to Shenzhen, where Winston lives, and unfortunately he was up in Beijing, so we never got to touch bases. But later that year, the following, that would have been the spring of 2016. In the winter of 2016, Winston came to America, and he bought a Corvette, which he stores in Arizona, and he toured the whole America from East Coast to West Coast to East Coast. Spent Christmas in New York with Sea Milk and his family, and Sasha came over and joined him also. Then they drove back to California and flew back home. Now, when Winston was in California the first time, I had the pleasure of going to one of his meetups down in, I think it was Oceanside, somewhere close to there. And I spent the whole evening with him and a bunch of others, followers, and got to know Winston quite well. Everybody was just asking us questions and so forth. And then just recently, I went to China here January 2018. Well, as luck would have it, Winston was in California in January 2018. Him and Sea Milk were doing a series of videos on trying to find the best authentic Chinese food in America. And surprisingly, they found some places that they actually liked better than Chinese food, although they really like the Chinese food. So anyway, I didn't get a chance to meet up with him then. But he says he's probably going to come back to the United States later this year. If not, probably next winter for sure. I think he wants to come here where it's nice and warm. And maybe we'll get to do a video together. In the meantime, doing this video and promoting Winston and Sea Milk, and they got another buddy, SerpentZA, who just left China and he's living over in Taiwan, and he's doing some videos on Taiwan, comparing the difference between China and Taiwan. He just put one out the other day about the difference in the work environment, work conditions and so forth, as an English teacher. So hopefully Winston will, if I'm lucky, Winston will mention this video I'm doing him and give me some promotion. I need to get some viewers and followers, subscribers to my channel. I'm just fairly new at this, been doing it about 6 months, and I got about 40 videos out there. And I made some good videos when I was in China here in 2018. My trip to China in January was actually a trip of hell. I fell and broke my arm. Had to get 3 stitches in my elbow, and I was living on pain pills for 3 weeks. Came home to get an operation on my arm when I got home, and that's pretty well healed up now, although they put a plate in my arm with I'll put some pictures on here of my arm as I fell in China, the x-ray, and then the x-ray after the stitches. It's kind of interesting what they did to repair it. Also, when I was down in I had a lot of problems. One of my main reasons for going to China was to well, we were on a buying trip, but we also had to go to Kunming, where there's a lot of botanical gardens, and I'm into plants and so forth. So we went to Kunming, and as I get off the airport, and the forecast was for weather in the high 40s. As I get off the airplane, I'm walking up this ramp, and I'm huffing and puffing. I said, "What's the matter with my heart?" Turns out I'm at 6,200 feet. Find out it's supposed to snow the next day. So I concluded with my broken arm, 6,200 feet elevation, and bad weather, it was time to leave Kunming without seeing any botanical gardens and go on to Bangkok, which was our next stop. Down in Bangkok, I got a fish pedicure, where you put your fish in a tank, you put your feet in the tank, and the fish eat the dead skin off your feet. It tickles a little bit, but it's just you can clean your feet up. But this one fish on the top of my foot, it threw the skin into an artery, and I'm pumping blood out like a fire hose. I'm on Coumadin blood thinner, so it was kind of, it was the smallest little tiny hole that a fish could bite. But because of the blood pressure and Coumadin, I was squirting blood out 3-4 feet. And the poor girl running the booth said, well, she just couldn't stand the sight of blood. She went berserk. She called security. Security comes down there with a nurse, some lady that I thought was a nurse. And we got the blood stopped pretty easily. The bleeding stopped, and they put a band-aid on it. And I put my shoes and socks on and got up to leave and want to pay for my services. And she says, There's no charge. Just get out of here. You're ruining my business. I can understand that. So I got a free fish pedicure. And they got a free pint of blood. And about 5 days later, I'm down in Saigon at a nice French resort down there. You look at my video on YouTube called Paradise in Saigon. And when I was down there, I took my shoes and socks off and went in the swimming pool. No problem at all. You know, it's been 5 days since I had took the Band-Aid off. It had not been bleeding during that period. So everything was fine. And the next day, I ended up in my room working on the computer, and Cindy's down at the pool. And after about an hour, I said, well, I guess I'll go join her down at the pool. I take my shoes and socks off, and I must have pulled the scab off because it started bleeding again. I'm squirting out blood 3-4 feet all over the room. I'm sitting on the edge of the bed, my foot on the floor, bloody sock on top of that, my other foot on top of that, trying to hold pressure on it to stop the bleeding. I'm sitting there for an hour. I can't get up and go for help or anything because I'm going to squirt blood all over the room. So after about an hour, Cindy came back, and it only took 5 minutes with a little bit of help to get the blood stopped, the bleeding stopped. So this was a trip of hell. Then we went from there over to Mooney, which is kind of nice. Nice place on the beach in Vietnam. A lot of wind boarding there. You might want to look at my video, Wind Boarding in Mooney, I think it's called. It's on my channel. Also did another video there, how they make strawberry ice cream with street vendors. It's only about a 2-minute video. It's kind of quick. Anyway, we left there, we went up to Shanghai, made some videos up there on the Pearl of the Orient and the Bund, Nanjing Street, and then went to Hangzhou because that's where we're going to fly home. And I had an agent who helped me do some buying. They shipped all these magnetic beads to my hotel there in advance, and I had 4 suitcases, each weighing 50 pounds. That's my limit for the flight home. And the airport shuttle was supposed to pick us up at 8 a.m. Well, at 7:30 a.m. I go into diabetic shock. I'm out cold. Cindy's cramming crackers down my throat, trying to get some sugar in me. She goes down to the lobby, gets the bellhop. He comes up, calls down and gets the shuttle driver. He comes up. But this time I'm starting to come back alive. I'm able to walk with a little bit of, I was maybe unstable, but was able to walk the elevator, get on the airport shuttle to the airport. And they got the luggage down. 4 bags that weighing 50 pounds apiece. They are on wheels, so. Then we get to the airplane, and it's been snowing out. They have to de-ice the airplane, so we're an hour and 10 minutes leaving off, and we had a 2-hour window in Beijing to switch flights, but we just burned an hour and 10 minutes of it here. We get to Beijing. They put me in an elevator, and they're running as fast as they can to push that wheelchair. Sydney couldn't keep up, so they got a second wheelchair for her. And the two of us are racing. We had to go maybe a mile. I think we even took a train or trolley part of this way. So we had to get to immigration. We go through. They moved us to the front of the line in immigration. That could normally take you 45 minutes just to get through immigration. So we got through immigration, and I had to go through security, where you take your shoes off. You take everything out of your backpack, your computer, your phone, your batteries. Send it through. Then you got to put everything back together. And then it has to push another, must be another half mile to get us down to the boarding gate. We got in the plane with a minute to go, and so we fly to LAX, and we get there, and our luggage didn't make the board transfer. And they tell us that 2 of our bags are on a plane 3 hours behind us, and 2 other bags are held up in Beijing because they found magnets I'll get you. And nobody realized that magnets was a problem. So we gave them written permission to discard the magnets and ship the bags. That was Thursday. Saturday morning they show up at my home delivering all 4 of my bags, and all the magnets were there. So I don't know what the hell all the huff puff was about, but anyways, that turned out to be a blessing in disguise. But I did, because with my broken arm I didn't have to wheel all those bags onto a bus and onto the metro, and so that was kind of a blessing in disguise there. But I call that 3 weeks in China as a trip of hell. It was colder than hell, colder than the North Pole. Not colder than hell. Couldn't believe how cold it was there. Part of the problem is they don't turn their heaters on in the daytime. They don't turn them on till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So your rooms and everything, all the buildings are just, there's no heat in them. Everything's cold. So, all right. What else do I have in my notes here? Well, I guess that's it for now. If you like this video and you want to see more of them, hit the like button down below, and that'll suggest to YouTube that other people traveling to China or interested in sea milk or Winston, that they can they'll promote this video in their case. And if, as we say at USC, if you want to be informed of other videos that come out, hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified when they come out. In the meantime, as we say at USC, fight on, fellow Trojans.